Right now at noon, why the city of Madison is having a difficult time with the winter weather. And Governor Tony Evers is honoring veterans at the Capitol today, what he's promising them.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Monday. We saw some snow overnight into this morning. Let's head to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Hi, Chris.
Good afternoon, Mark. We're finally starting to see the snow come to an end. The sunshine will be returning on the backside of that. Let's jump on over to high-resolution Doppler. Here's where we're watching the snow right now. A lot of this is now east of the area, but as you work your way south and east over towards Janesville, places like Evansville, towards Stoughton, you're getting in on the last of the snow shower activity as that continues to push on out of the area. Jefferson, Johnson Creek, you all are all still getting in on some of that snow. Here's high-resolution Doppler, though, just showing you the past 12 hours as that snow began overnight. You see how it truly targeted the southern half of the area. So if you were further towards the north and west, the less snowfall that you saw. In the meantime, still a few flurries flying out there here in Madison. The temperature 21 degrees. We're going to watch those temperatures continue to drop, though, folks. We will be going all the way down into the single digits tonight. Wind chills will be even colder, and there are some records that could be broken as we head into tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. It was a messy morning commute for the snowfall. The Madison Street Division is calling this an early version of a headache winter storm. Our Amanda Quintana is out on the west side with more on how the city is clearing the roads. Amanda.
Yes, well, the Streets Division says they're really dealing with two seasons at once. This past weekend, they had 100 people each day picking up leaves. And then today, all of this. Right now, all 32 plows are out on the roads treating those main thoroughfares. They've been out since 2 a.m. Those are the streets that are used most, like East Washington, Fish Hatchery here where I'm on. They've been circling those routes since then, and the Streets Division did not brine the roads ahead of time because they say it's just too cold. They say it's hard to say how much that actually would have helped, if at all, since once it is below 20 degrees, salt does not work as well. Right now, I know that the Streets Division is in a meeting. They're trying to determine what their plan is going to be for the rest of the day, the rest of the afternoon. They say they're not sure if the sun will come out and melt a lot of this or if they're going to have to keep those plows out. So we'll make sure to update you and let you know how your commute home is going to be later today.
Take it slow. All right, Amanda, thank you. And you can stay up to date on the latest weather alerts in your area on our Channel 3000 First Alert weather app. It'll bring you hour-by-hour forecasts and accurate radar. You can download it for free in the App Store. State officials are honoring veterans at the Capitol today with the ceremony. Governor Tony Evers and U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin are meeting with Wisconsin veterans and their families to honor them for their service. Governor Evers says his administration is committed to making sure veterans have critical resources in Wisconsin.
Whether it's increased access to health care, more affordable housing, resources to find jobs, or actually start their own businesses. We are connecting the dots in every way possible so that every veteran is empowered to reach their personal or career goals and thrive in our state.
During the ceremony, Thomas Lucas, who received 4 Purple Hearts and was a former UW-Madison athlete, was honored. We hear more from him tonight at 5. Meanwhile, in New York, President Trump and the First Lady paid tribute to veterans who have served in the nation's armed forces at a soldiers' memorial in New York's Madison Square Park. The president addressed the crowd gathered for the city's 100th Veterans Day Parade. He is the first commander-in-chief to kick off the annual event.
The men and women who have donned our nation's uniforms are the bravest, toughest, strongest, and most virtuous warriors ever to walk on earth.
More than 25,000 people, including veterans and active duty military personnel, marched along Fifth Avenue for the parade. To thank the more than 19 million veterans in the United States who have served, many restaurants and businesses are offering freebies and deals to those who have served. Hopcat, Olive Garden, and Chili's are some restaurants that are giving free meals to vets. Target, Great Clips, and Amazon are giving discounts to vets as well. For a list of some of those deals, head to our website, channel3000.com. And the Dane County Sheriff's Office has created a veterans housing unit for incarcerated veterans. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says this type of housing unit, also known as barracks behind bars, is the first in the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin. The unit is an extension of the Dane County Veterans Court, which started back in 2014. The Sheriff's Office is working with local organizations and outside agencies in connection with the unit. In other news, the Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage is entering its 4th day on lockdown. The Department of Corrections says a staff member was assaulted on Friday, prompting the lockdown out of concern for the safety and security of staff. The DOC says the lockdown will continue until it feels it's safe to lift the restrictions. A spokesperson tells us there have been 2 additional staff assaults in the past week, but they are unrelated to Friday's assault. The country's about to get a first-hand look at the House impeachment inquiry, with public hearings set to begin later this week. President Trump unleashed a series of tweets pushing back on the impeachment inquiry. In one, he accused Congressman Adam Schiff of releasing doctored witness transcripts and said Republicans should put out their own transcripts. Republicans have submitted a list of witnesses they want to testify at the hearings, and it includes the anonymous whistleblower and Hunter Biden, former Vice President Joe Biden's son, who worked for the Ukrainian energy company President Trump wanted investigated.
I'm curious to know how someone who doesn't have any experience in Ukraine nor experience in a natural gas company becomes on the board of a natural gas company in Ukraine.
What information Mr. Biden, Hunter Biden, a private citizen who has broke no laws by serving on a board of directors, would have about the president's withholding of military aid to Ukraine.
And House Judiciary Chair Adam Schiff said that they would evaluate the list, but would not allow the hearings to become a sham investigation into the Bidens or debunked conspiracy theories. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Do you suffer from the what's for dinner jitters? If so, stick around, because we've got something to help you out. So I've got a question for you. Around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, do you get a bit jittery thinking about what you're going to make for dinner? If you do, you're not alone. As a matter of fact, 80% of Americans are in the same boat. So to help you out, this Veterans Day, we're sharing a fill-you-up casserole that's comforting and easy to whip up. The first thing we're going to do is saute some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that we cut into 1/2-inch chunks. Once these are cooked through, we turn off the heat and add some chicken broth, a bit of prepared gravy, a bunch of fresh sliced mushrooms, frozen peas, some pimentos that we've drained, and last but not least, some quick cooking rice. After giving this a stir, we pour it into a casserole dish and cover it and pop it into the oven to let all the flavors meld together. Once it's bubbling hot, ring the dinner bell or just call the troops to the table any way you can, 'cause dinner's ready. Maybe team this up with a salad and some crusty bread for a meal that'll warm you up from the inside out. To get your hands on this stress-free recipe for our classic scallop chicken, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an all-American way on Veterans Day for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Good? Oh.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, a wintry start to your work week, and the cold is on its way. Meteorologist Chris Reese has more coming up in your first alert forecast. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. The number to call is 608-270-2833. The service is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down 7.5 points. The NASDAQ off 17. The S&P 500 down 7. No Pam today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Chris is over in the Weather Center. Looks pretty.
Yeah, it does look pretty. It is unseasonable, though. We don't typically get this kind of snow this early in the season. Already the snowiest start to winter that we've ever seen. I do want to show you some of the snowfall reports that we've had so far this morning, and these are as of 8 a.m. So one of the things you'll notice is that I have Janesville and Elkhorn above WISC-TV, but that's because I know their totals are going to wind up higher. 4 inches reported in Evansville this morning, Janesville at 3.2 in Elkhorn. I measured 3.3 here at the station just before the start of the show. Dodgeville came in with 2.8, Beaver Dam 1.8 inches of snowfall. So it has certainly been a snowy morning for us, and that has led to several issues on a lot of area roadways. We've had several slide-offs and incidents this morning. Just take it easy as we go through the rest of the afternoon. Things will gradually get better, but you've got to give it time. Let things begin to clear out. Those salt crews are finally working their way out. The problem is with the cold temperatures, the effectiveness of the salt is going to be a little bit lower. What's also going to help things improve is the fact that that snow has finally begun to come to an end. We're watching that move on out of here. Let's zoom on down though as we work our way over towards Janesville, up towards Milton. This is where we're still seeing some of the last bands of some light snow move on through, but I still think that'll be clearing out here as we go through probably about the next hour or two. But we saw the snow, folks, overnight. It came down pretty heavily over southern Wisconsin at times, and this has all been associated with the true push of Arctic air that is moving in out of Canada. The air mass that's moving in right now is about as cold as it gets for November. If this were January or December, we'd be talking wind chills down towards -60 or 70 again. So it modifies as we go through the course of the year, but it's truly an Arctic air mass that's moving in, pushing that precipitation, the rain and the snow further towards the south and east. Places like Kentucky, down through Tennessee and Arkansas get their first snow of the season as we go through tonight. Meanwhile, we will be clearing out, but the clear skies and a fresh snowpack will truly allow those temperatures to begin to drop. Folks, we're going to be falling down into the single digits. Here we are waking up tomorrow morning at 6:30. 6 is the forecast temperature in Madison, and that could have to drop even lower given that we have fresh snow on the ground. Wind chills will be another story to talk about as well, but I do want to focus on the fact that tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon rather, our high temperature likely will not make it out of the teens. Yes, things are going to be very chilly for us. Here are those wind chills, though. We're waking up tomorrow morning. Wind chills could be anywhere from 5 degrees below zero to 10 degrees below zero. A jacket is going to be a must. Even into tomorrow afternoon, those wind chills are likely staying into the single digits, while actual air temperatures will be into the teens. There are also some records that we could break. Our afternoon forecast high, we're going for 22. The record low high for today is 23. Unfortunately, we won't break it by technicality. We were at 25 at midnight, but I do think we have a strong shot at breaking the overnight low if we can indeed fall towards 6 degrees. But folks, after this cold air comes good news. That begins to retreat, and our pattern turns somewhat milder. While we will still see shots of cooler air at times, overall, things do look milder, folks, and I think that's going to be good news. So again, 22 as we head through this afternoon, clearing skies, staying colder. We're falling down towards 6 tonight, and now the alert days are for the cold instead of the snow. Speaking of, we're watching another chance for snow as some warmer air comes in here Wednesday afternoon. So far, it does not look to be a big deal, but there could be some minor accumulation with that snow as well. Then perhaps making it above freezing by Thursday and Friday, close to 40 for the weekend. Oh my, I see a 43 on that forecast, Mark.
That would be nice.
We are going to be warming up, just living it in the warm summer-like weather by the time we get you towards the end of the next 10 days.
It's all relative.
Yes, it is. Very relative.
Thank you, Chris. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call, 608-270-9933. We'll get the calls right after this.
News
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here taking your calls at 270-9933. Hello to you. A little holiday-ish here?
Yeah, the holiday plants are starting to come in. It's too soon for us to see poinsettias, but we do have Christmas cactus, which I did not bring. But I love these cyclamen. They're from a local grower, and we got some Gaultheria. This is what you make wintergreen from.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Very
and
nice.
we've got some herb topiaries, lavender, some myrtle. So they're starting to come in.
Tis the season almost.
Tis the season indeed.
All right, let's get to the calls. We'll start with Linda. Hi, Linda. What's your question?
My question is, I have purple passions and I love them, and I have them in the same pot, and some die, and some just grow like crazy, and I don't know if I'm overwatering, underwatering, but I always have a heck of a time.
We see a lot of purple passions. They're a good outdoor container plant for the summer, and then they do make a nice house plant, so people usually do try to bring them in. The thing to remember about this time of year, though, is that the light days are getting shorter, so there's not as much light, and our houses, the temperatures are weirder, so we really have to retrain ourselves in the watering. If you have a regular schedule, you want to sort of check the soil. So you want plants generally to dry out completely between waterings, so the surface of the soil is dry, and then give them a good thorough soak, and then let them go again. And you'll reestablish a new rhythm, but I would guess it's a watering issue.
All right, let's go to Barb in Verona. Hi, Barb.
Hi.
What's your question?
I have a couple regarding plants that I brought in. One is actually a fern, and I had it hanging outside, and it did very well, and I brought it in, and it's still doing very well. Could you tell me, is that something that can be trimmed back, and how would I care for it?
Well, ferns, all those fronds come from the center, so you don't want to sort of trim it like you would give it a haircut. What you want to do is go back in, and if you want to take out some of those bigger fronds all the way to the soil, you can do that. Ferns also appreciate a more humid spot, so maybe put it on a humidity tray, a little tray with some rocks on it, and then some water in the bottom of the tray to keep the humidity up, and watch the watering. Ferns generally like to stay a little more moist, so don't let it dry out completely between waterings.
Oh, that's perfect. Good to know on that one. The other one I wanted to ask, please, is a combination of two others that I brought in. One is called, on the bottom of the picture, it's called a hardy ice plant.
Okay.
It seems to be doing well. It's not flowering right now, but I'm keeping it just moist, like you had mentioned earlier. Can I replant that, and what should I do about it? It's kind of drapey looking right now.
Ice plants are a little bit succulent-y, so you're going to want to put it in a really sunny spot, and you're going to let that one dry out. Those plants store a lot of water, so let that one dry out completely between the watering.
All right, Jenny from McFarland. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
I have a question about my Christmas/Easter cactuses.
Okay.
They're not blooming.
Okay.
One of them, I will get one nice bloom from it, and then it'll die off, but none of the other two have bloomed at all.
Okay, so with Christmas cactus, the trick is that they need to have a dark period. So what they need to have is 8 hours of sun, and then 16 hours of dark. And so a lot of times when we have them in our homes and we have artificial lighting, that will stop them from setting buds. So if it's in a part of your house where you're in there, get a box, put a box on it. And then in the morning, take the box off, and then at the end of the day, put the box back on. And that should help spur the flowering.
All right. We're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Chris has one final check of the forecast.
Hey, we're finally starting to clear things out after the last round of accumulating snow that we saw earlier this morning. A lot of spots ended up with anywhere from about 2 to 4 inches of that, unless you were north and west of Madison. The partly sunny skies will be the case as we go through the rest of the day. Temperatures continue to drop, though. We may warm up another degree or two, but the moral of the story is we're going all the way down towards 6 degrees tonight. A lot of spots will be colder now that we have that fresh pack of snow on the ground and the skies will be clearing. We do not get out of the teens on Tuesday. We'll watch another chance for some light snow by Wednesday.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4.
Now.